The moment the contestant walks onto the America's Got Talent stage, the atmosphere shifts into something electric yet mysterious. He stands in the center, the spotlight gently washing over him, revealing a face filled with equal parts humility and quiet determination. His hands are clasped tightly around the microphone, and though he smiles politely, the slight tremble in his fingers shows the weight of the moment. The audience, curious about the young man with a calm presence, leans closer as they wait for him to speak. When he begins to introduce himself, his voice is soft but steady. He tells the judges he is from the Philippines, and immediately, a warm murmur echoes through the crowd. But then he says something that catches everyone off guard. He reveals that he is the son of the legendary Filipino icon Freddie Aguilar. The reaction is instant. Some of the audience members gasp, while others whisper excitedly. The judges' faces shift with surprise. Simon Cowell raises his eyebrows with genuine intrigue, leaning slightly forward in his seat as if he wants to catch every word. The contestant explains how he grew up hearing Anak, not just as a song played on the radio or sung at events, but as a story deeply rooted in his own family. He speaks about the meaning behind the song and how its message shaped him throughout his life. His eyes shine with emotion as he describes how he felt the pressure of carrying a name so widely respected and how he spent years trying to find his own voice while honoring the legacy of his father. The stage, once merely a platform, now feels like a sacred place where generations meet. The audience listens closely, sensing the honesty in his words. The camera focuses on the judges as they begin to understand the depth of his story. What started as a simple introduction has transformed into a heartfelt confession of identity, burden, love, and responsibility. By the time he takes a breath and prepares to sing, the entire room hangs in silence, waiting. The lights dim slightly around him, leaving him bathed in a soft glow. You can see the shift in his posture, his nerves settling and his heart ready to speak through the song that has carried his family's story across decades. The music begins softly, a gentle instrumental echo of a song the world already knows by heart, but in this moment, it feels entirely new. The contestant lifts his gaze, takes a steady breath, and releases the first note of Anak. The effect is immediate. His voice, warm and hauntingly familiar, flows into the auditorium with a tone that carries the unmistakable spirit of Freddie Aguilar yet shines with its own authenticity. The audience reacts without a sound, an instinctive stillness that happens only when something extraordinary begins. People lean forward unconsciously, as if pulled by an invisible thread, wanting to catch every nuance of his voice. The judges' expressions shift one by one. Heidi presses a hand to her chest, surprised by the richness and depth of his tone. Sophia's eyes widen, then soften as she listens more deeply. Howie stops moving entirely, focusing with unusual seriousness. And Simon Cowell, the judge known for his sharp instincts, tilts his head and narrows his eyes, not in skepticism, but in admiration, the kind of look he gives when he knows he is witnessing a moment that could become unforgettable. As the contestant reaches the next lines, his voice gains strength, layering emotion over technique. Each word seems to carry years of family stories, quiet sacrifices, and memories he never lived but feels connected to. His delivery is sincere, not forced. He sings with both restraint and passion, creating a balance that touches everyone watching. The cameras sweep across the audience, capturing subtle reactions, someone wiping a tear before it falls, a father holding his child a little closer, a young Filipino woman mouthing the lyrics with trembling lips. Every rise and fall of the melody builds a bridge between past and present, between the legacy of his father and the voice he is discovering for himself. The clarity of his tone makes the lyrics feel even more intimate, as if he is telling the story directly to each person individually. With every note, he draws the audience deeper into a shared emotional space, where nostalgia and admiration blend seamlessly. By the time he moves into the heart of the verse, the room is completely silent, not out of politeness, but because no one dares to interrupt the fragile beauty of what they're hearing. It's the kind of silence that only a truly powerful performance can create, the kind that says everyone knows they are witnessing something rare. As the song moves into its most emotional lines, something inside the contestant shifts. His eyes slowly close, not to escape the moment, but to feel it more deeply. The stage lights transition into a soft golden glow, wrapping him in warmth as if the universe itself wants to honor the story he is telling. His voice rises gently, then powerfully, carrying the weight of every sacrifice, every regret, every lesson embedded in the lyrics of Anak. There is no pretension in his delivery, only truth. And that truth vibrates through the room like a quiet earthquake. A slight crack forms in his voice on a particularly emotional phrase, but instead of weakening the performance, it strengthens it. It reveals the vulnerability he has been holding inside, the pressure of legacy, the longing to make his father proud, and the silent battles he fought growing up under a name known across nations. The audience feels this instantly. People begin to cry openly now, not dramatic sobs, but gentle tears brought on by memories of their own parents, their own mistakes, their own forgiveness. His performance becomes bigger than one man singing a song, it becomes a universal story everyone can see themselves in. The judges grow visibly moved. Sophia lifts her hand to her mouth, frozen in awe. Howie nods slowly, deeply affected, as if lost in a personal memory the song has stirred. Heidi's eyes glisten with empathy. And Simon, usually hard to read, shows a rare expression, his eyebrows slightly pulled inward, lips pressed gently together in respect. It's a look he only gives when a performance hits him straight in the heart. As the emotions swell, the music rises behind him, following the rhythm of his voice like a supportive embrace. The cameraman zooms in on his face, capturing the sincerity pouring out of him, every breath, every note, every tremble. The golden light around him flickers softly, almost as if symbolizing the bridge between father and son, past and present. In this moment, the stage is transformed. It is no longer a place for competition, it becomes a sacred space where a son speaks to the world through a song born before he was. The entire audience feels it, the heaviness, the healing, the beauty. And as he reaches the emotional peak, the room is suspended in a silence so powerful that even the air seems to stand still. As the final note leaves his lips, it hangs in the air for a split second, soft, trembling, and filled with everything he poured into the performance. Then, before the sound can fully fade, the entire auditorium erupts into applause. The reaction is explosive and immediate. People shoot to their feet as if lifted by the emotion they've just witnessed. The young singer lowers his microphone slightly, stunned by the wave of energy rushing toward him. His chest rises and falls quickly, and his eyes glisten with the relief and gratitude of someone who has given everything and is finally being seen. The judges stand with the audience, clapping above their heads. Heidi beams with a wide, emotional smile, clearly touched. Sophia's face is lit with warmth and admiration as she calls out, "Beautiful." Howie looks deeply moved, a hand pressed against his heart as he nods to the contestant, signaling his respect and connection to the performance. Then the camera turns to Simon Cowell, who remains standing, arms crossed but expression softened in a way that only happens when something truly special strikes him. Simon leans into the microphone and tells the contestant that the performance was more than a tribute, it was a moment of its own, something powerful, honest, and unforgettable. The audience starts chanting loudly, their voices blending into one united call for recognition. Some chant his name, while others chant for the golden buzzer. The contestant looks up in disbelief, overwhelmed by the love filling the room. His emotions threaten to spill over, he covers his mouth, shakes his head, and gazes out into the crowd as if trying to absorb every second. The judges exchange glances, each one acknowledging the magnitude of the moment. The golden buzzer glows softly on the panel, illuminated by the stage lights. The cameras catch every angle, the trembling hands of the contestant, the spark of excitement in the audience, and the suspense hanging over the judges' table. Whether the golden buzzer is pressed or not, the moment feels complete. The performance has transcended the usual boundaries of a talent show. It has become a piece of history, an emotional bridge between generations, a tribute filled with sincerity, and a reminder of how music can carry stories across time. As the applause continues, the contestant stands in the center of the stage, no longer just a singer, but a storyteller who has touched thousands in a matter of minutes.